Hello, everyone. I hope that you have the NBA Western Conference Finals on in the background. But, anyways.
Welcome to the first edition of the Cardcast.
Your second choice is season 2.
Season 2.
Season 2 of the Cardcast. Oh, let me put my hat on. I have bold insecurities. Yeah, the talent is here.
Yeah.
You're welcome. The talent has arrived. Exactly. The talent has arrived. We couldn't do this. We haven't been on here in a long time.
I know.
Like 3 months, maybe.
Has it been that long?
I bet it's been at least, I bet it's been 3 months
Holy cow.
Since we've been on there. Because we tried to go live like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. We just left everybody hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt bad, but you can't really take it back. Like,
that's true.
Here's some more time. Sorry we wasted yours. You know? But it's all right. Sport card talk. Peanut Butter Man. Heck yeah, Peanut Butter Man is live. I'm Peanut Butter Man.
Oh, you're a Peanut Butter Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I eat a lot of peanut butter.
Oh, that's right. The bucket of peanut butter.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a good story.
I sort a lot of cards. You don't call me card sorting, man.
Not to your face.
But I'm okay with that. Like, I don't want to be called. Don't call me card sorting, man. But lots going on around here. There's a lot that's going on in the sports card hobby, and a lot that's going on in sports in general. Because remember, it was before the baseball season. Like, we might have done one right after the season started. No, I don't think we did.
We did a preview, didn't we? Something.
We did something, but we were both like pretty depressed whenever the strike was going on. And I think that lasted kind of into like the beginning of baseball season. And then after the beginning of baseball season, it was better. So I don't think we did anything. There was that one time we sat here and like just talked to the camera.
That's right.
It worked, but
it
wasn't
for like 10
good.
minutes.
Our set, like most people's sets, like they get better.
Yeah.
Ours gets worse. Like, before long, we're just going to be sitting on the floor back here.
You'll just be able to hear us.
Screaming at the microphone, right? Yeah. It's just a black screen. Actually, I guess I could not show everyone just the YouTube stream. I forgot. This is what you get.
See?
This is what you get.
Yeah. Everybody's saying go back to the other screen.
It's about the content. Like, it's not about.
It's a podcast. Just listen. No, you don't have to watch.
You come here for the looks, but it's about the content.
Oh, poor guys.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Nate and Mike are alive. Somebody said I love F1 cards. Maximus Pumpernickel. You would love F1 cards. Top 5 hot cards this week. What's that guy called that you pulled out of Bowman? Yeti or something like that?
Yeti?
What's the guy's name that you pulled out of 2018?
Ellie?
I don't know.
Ellie Cruz? Ella de la Cruz?
No. Out of 2018 or
18.
Did he play for the Cardinals?
Juan Yepes.
You should have seen Mike. He was like a kid in a toy store yesterday. Look at all the Juan Yepes. Like, these are $10 a piece.
There was only 20 or so.
He was so proud.
Maybe 12.
It was getting a kick out of it.
It's fun stuff.
Been picking up lots of Mikey Trout autos recently. Who's Sports Card Talk? It's the guys down in the Olathe area, right? Like Mike. Is Michael part of Sports Card Talk?
I don't think so. I don't know Sports Card Talk that I know of.
I think so. Well, anyways, Mikey Trout autos. Yeah. We like Mikey Trout autos.
Yeah. We got 2 or 3 of them right now.
For now.
Somewhere.
For now.
They don't stay around here very long.
Was convinced Nathan picked up everything and moved to Alaska to be on the History Channel show Surviving Alaska.
He did build an igloo out of commons the other day.
Interesting story. Interesting take on that. When I was finishing college, I was working on a construction site, and I lived in a camper on the site for like 9 months through the winter and everything. So, and okay, that's not the so I did, and a friend of mine was in journalism school, and she made like a short documentary about how cheap I was. Like, I lived in a camper to save money, and I got free water at Chipotle and made lemonade with the lemons and the sugar. They don't have lemons and sugar, I don't think, anymore. Totally.
You ruined it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruin the crab rangoons.
The crab rangoons are next.
We have a shop right up the street that sells like a friggin' bag of crab rangoons for like $6, and I'll get them. I just order crab rangoons and I'll go pick them up. And Mike said that I was gonna ruin it. They're not gonna.
It's $6 for dinner, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would like call on my way into work and order a crab rangoon. It's a good meal. Still waiting on PSA cards from February 2021.
Sounds right.
But yet, if you send in at the $50 level now, it takes less than 6 weeks to get your cards back.
Mm-hmm.
But people that were sending them in,
well, it's not profitable because they only get $12 a card for those.
Right. That's
true. Why. I mean, that's the reason. I mean, it sucks.
It's not right.
Yeah, but that's the reason. But that's right that was right before they made everybody stop. You know, that was like March was the cutoff.
Yep.
So that's what shut everything down.
Oh, thanks to all of you all out there and me complaining, Star Stock has dropped the price of shipping cards home to 20 cents a card.
Per.
Maybe it's just that they're going out of business.
Yeah, that's it too.
I still haven't got my graded cards from them, my PSA cards from them.
I have not either.
Did you send some?
Not graded. I haven't got anything 3 months now.
Yeah. And you got a lot of stuff sent back to you.
A lot.
A lot of stuff that's worth a lot less now than it was 3 months ago.
Bobby Witt rookies for one.
Yeah, right? We gotta hope he pops off here soon. But that's insane. Well, I submitted through them when they were lying to everyone and telling them that it was supposed to only take 2 months. But then adding the qualifier, well, our first PSA submission came back in 2 months. But we're at the mercy of PSA. It's like, you idiots. Like, I mean, they have a lot of pull. They had a lot of pull at the time. They had contacts at PSA. They were directly in contact with PSA to set this whole thing up.
Mm-hmm.
They told me they were. They told me they weren't supposed to send in anything but 9s or 10s, Star Stock A's, and all this stuff. And that was their deal with PSA, and that's why it was cheaper, and that's why they were getting them back as quick. And they flat out lied. Like, they didn't lie. They just flat out did what was wrong.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't submit their submissions through somebody else. I don't know why they would do that, but something along those lines. Like, why would you...
Well, the scary part to me would be that they have your money,
mm-hmm.
and they haven't paid PSA yet,
mm-hmm.
and who knows how much, they got another whatever that company was on their hand.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going bankrupt. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
They will not be around.
Yeah, so that just gets written off.
Yeah.
I don't know how many cards are still there.
I don't know. All I know is most of mine were junk. I had like 3 Cam Newtons, Topps Chrome cards that I thought were going to be back before last football season. And in that case, they would have been like PSA 10s were like $300.
Yeah.
Not the case anymore.
Now 15 months later.
Not 15 months later. So if worst case scenario, I'm only out whatever it was, $150 or something like that. Star Wars is so fetch right now. What does that mean? I think that means...
I thought that was Nick.
Is that good or is it like wretched?
No, fetch is okay, right?
Fetch is good?
Yeah. It's from
it's
Mean
heat?
Girls.
It's heat?
Yeah.
It's heat.
It's a big dub.
Star Wars, so fetch. No cap.
No cap.
No cap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sports Card Talk is with Chris.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, that's easy to remember.
All right. Mikey Trout autos. Still waiting on. What do you think of rare vintage slabs? We have a lot of rare vintage slabs.
Yeah. Not as many as we used to. It's getting kind of slim down there. But we will have some coming soon.
I mean, the whole thing is a set registry. So PSA 10s from the 1970s can go for
big money,
$200, $300, $400
mm-hmm.
a piece if there's only like 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Once you
sold Freddie Patek today for $150, 79 Topps card.
Yeah,
I got ones out there I say for a quarter.
Even I think into some of the early '80s stuff,
mm-hmm.
if they're 10s,
mm-hmm.
that stuff was super hard grades.
Yeah,
it was all junk.
for tens.
I mean, there was no quality.
I mean, it was around 20 years before people even thought about grading cards. So
yeah,
just set in a box or got moved around a bunch. Nobody cared about commons.
No.
So
no. I think the quality control was probably worse in the
Yeah.
late 70s and early 80s than it was in like the 60s.
paper stuff is tough anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you look up 1980 stuff. Almost everything's under 50, except for like Ricky Henderson, the one that everybody sends in or whatever. But almost everyone's under 50. We just did this the other day. Pictures of PSA 10s and like there's 74s or commons are $150 for anybody. So
Yeah.
we've sold a bunch of them,
and they have high numbers and with that set registry, I mean, that stuff's I've said from the start of all this, before I ever came here, that I felt like what I saw in the 90s was a trend where people grew in maturity and there was that wave of interest and money and collectors eventually moved more back to vintage.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of guys, even though there's not a lot of guys coming into the hobby in the last 6 months, not near as much as there was the year before. I've seen a lot of guys move to building vintage sets, move to collecting more vintage stuff that, got in and were only interested in the stuff they grew up collecting and maybe this new modern stuff. But then as they gain, experience and stuff like that, it was.
Yeah, I think it's thought of as a safer investment.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we can talk about that later, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
During our sports card investor blow up, the investor will go away.
We're gonna have we're having a what do they call it when you do you get together with somebody, a collaboration. We're gonna collab with Geoff of Sports Card Investor, and we're gonna talk about.
He's done it with everybody else. Why not us?
2013 Select football.
He invested $500,000 into Selects. And now he's going to cash out at $300,000.
No. He bought $750,000 worth of Select and then turned around and sold it after the video was over. Probably. Yeah. I mean, if he had any sense, he did. I mean, nobody that's been in this thought that this stuff was going to last. Still waiting on Star stock order. Sport Card Talk thinks Bobby Witt got called up too early.
Bobby Witt's fine.
I don't think he got called up too early. I mean, he was the best option, right?
I didn't think he got called up too late. I think if they called him up in September last year, he would have got the bad part out, knew what was going on, and then started off better this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit 38 home runs in the minors last year. Like, call him up after 33.
He hit 40 or whatever. Not 48. 38?
38.
38?
Yeah.
He hit 38 homers, and in his first month in the minors was hitting like 150.
Yeah.
I mean, he was struggling in the minors against worst competition.
Yeah.
So if he starts off cold, in the beginning of this year, maybe he just starts off the season cold. Like maybe that's just how he is.
Well, I think it'll be a level thing. So like when he does it next year, he won't have to go through that struggle again. I hope. If he gets off to bad Aprils, then the Royals get off to bad Aprils probably, which isn't fun for anybody. So,
but he's up around 250 now, right?
But he was at under 200 for a while.
He's probably 300 for the last month to get up to 230.
So. Yeah,
from where he was, he was under 200 for quite a while.
Had a double tonight, I think I saw.
Nice. Rare edition slabs. I don't know. I don't have the money for any rare edition slabs. I don't know anything about them. Rare Edition is a new slab company. What?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that any new slab companies coming in right now. I mean, there's only so much you can do with them. So I don't think they can add a lot of value.
Yeah.
There's too much competition, and I mean, what can you do to add value now? I mean, I'm sure there's a couple things you could probably do, but I mean, no. No, like it's the value. I think any new company that's coming in and slabbing cards, the value you're giving them is the protection of the slab around them, and that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much the way it's been. There's a couple big guys. I might be wrong. I don't know anything about this company or anything like that, but I would not recommend being an early adopter of a new slab company.
It's a big hill to climb.
Gorilla Glass, they're Gorilla Glass and super thick and pretty fancy. And I don't know. I mean, I could see people liking them and they could be really cool. I don't know that people will pay, like, they will add value. Maybe if people really like them, but there's something about. I bought a bunch of PSA 10s last week. It's just something about them. They just feel right, I don't want to say that. That's not something I want to say, because I have my own problems with PSA. There's a lot of things I don't like about the way they do things, what they do, but they do feel right. I don't know.
They fit well. They fit well together.
Yeah, right. Right.
You guys in Dallas last week?
I was.
One of us was.
I was in Dallas last week. Friggin' killed it.
I've heard it's a good show.
It was a blast. It was a blast. I came back with more money than I took, and I came back with more cards than I took. You can't complain about it.
Weekend.
Yeah. Yep. And I saw a guy in the lobby break. They did a group break of a National Treasures box, and a guy pulled a $20,000 Trevor Lawrence RPA. A kid came up to a friend of mine and bought a $500 Contenders hobby box and pulled a $5,000 Trevor Lawrence auto. Shout out to all the Kansas City people that were down there. So Barry was down there. Barry and Brandon were down there. Cole Evans, Chris was down there. Chris and Josh and a friend of theirs was down there one day. I think they spent the night, but I think they came in Saturday. Dave Dilly and Joey were down there, and they helped me out a lot. I bought a bunch of stuff from them, and Dave gave me like half a table to set up for Saturday, so that was really cool. Who else was down there? Jake.
Oh, was he?
Jake was down there from Sports Cards KC. I did run into Jake. I was standing right beside him. He looked up at me. He looked up again. He goes, "Oh, hey." I was like, small world. Gosh, Joey.
Joey was there.
Joey. If y'all don't know Joey is got. Man, I had no idea he had the cards that he has. Joey's 19 years old and has had 2 LeBron Refractor 9.5 rookies. Chrome Refractor 9.5s. And that wasn't even, I mean, he's done a lot for himself.
Yeah.
But I mean, you said he's been going to that Olathe show forever, right?
Yeah, since he was like 12. Probably 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Smart kid, though. Super smart kid.
I went around with Joey for like the first day and a half, just to kind of pick his brain a little bit, because I don't deal in those high-end cards. I don't deal in $5,000 cards. He does a lot, and I learned a lot, to be perfectly honest. So, shout out to Joey. I had a lot of fun down there. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but I think everybody, all the Kansas City people, pretty much killed Dallas.
Yeah. I think everybody killed Dallas, right?
Not everybody.
Oh, really?
No, a lot of the guys, when I was going around towards the end of the show and buying stuff, I mean, there was guys in there that got stuck. Like, they're, paid $400 a table in that main room. And, I mean, they'd just be straight up like, "Hey, you have a good show?" Like, no. Like, no, not really. Like, I'm like, well, what do you get to sell? What do you got for sale?
I wonder, because people are, like, you can get jaded.
Yeah.
So, like, if you did that show for $400 a table and then did 20 grand or whatever the number was, and now you do a fourth of that, it's still a good show.
Yeah.
It's just not the show that you had a year ago.
Yeah.
So
you make $5 grand in a weekend. If you sell $5 grand in a weekend, that's a really good show.
Yeah.
I mean, if your expenses are covered, you cover your expenses and you sell $5 grand and you make 40%, you make $2,000. That's a pretty dang good weekend for most people.
Yeah.
I know it is for me.
Yeah.
Like, be tickled to death if I could make $2,000 a weekend.
Yeah.
Or even, $2,000 in a weekend.
Yeah.
So
it's so who knows? I mean, it's hard to see that much money floating around, and not do well. I mean, it's just comparing it to something else.
Well, there was reasons that the guys that were saying that, there was reasons that they weren't successful. One of the guys just had insane prices on everything. Like, he was an older guy and he just did not know how to price anything. Mm-hmm. And so he got nervous probably a year ago and just stuck insane high prices on everything. And he knew they were high and he was willing to negotiate, but people walk by and they see stickers like that.
Yeah.
They don't stop. And then, so there were reasons for pretty much everybody that had a bad show.
But that show's gotten so big, right, that you don't have to stop it. I mean, if you can't figure something out this one, the next table's, like, that's just ready to move. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have, some of the people get left behind.
And, I would say, I'm going to be conservative here, and it's probably more than this, but I would say easily 60% of the showcases in that main room are, every card's out of range for a normal, every card's $1,000 or not. It's not insane. It's not completely out of range for everybody, but it's $1,000 and up, and plenty of $10,000 cards and $20,000 cards. Mm-hmm. I mean, I saw 3 Mantle rookies just not even looking.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, good luck. Like, nobody's going to, very few people are just going to come drop $10K in cash. They're going to trade you 5 cards. And, I don't think that's a good strategy, right? I don't think holding $300,000, 100 cards that are worth $300,000 is a good strategy, right?
Yeah. Basketball, they're worth half what they used to be a month ago.
Yeah, and probably more like 15% of what they were a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, but that's just me. Just a humble poor man does humble poor things. So, but it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. It was really interesting. It was very profitable. If you know what you're doing, you could definitely walk in that show and do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody could. Whether you're set up or anything. I set up. I took $5,000 in cards down with me, set up on half a table, and sold 2,500 in like less than 24 hours, like less than a full day.
Mm-hmm.
Sold half of what I brought, and I didn't bring anything, but it was right position. I had stuff priced right. I had the price range for that room that was going to sell right. And I was willing to make deals with anybody. Like, most of that stuff was $20 and under. Like, knock off 30% right off the top without anybody asking. So, we're good.
Yeah, good.
A lot of fun.
Good.
In case you can't tell, pretty big fan. Gonna go back. Mike just sits here and collects money. He doesn't have to go anywhere.
I don't know where. I collect cards, man.
There's do
more
that.
Cards here than when you left.
I don't know if collect's the right word, but
well, if you buy them and don't get rid of them, I think that's called collecting.
Stockpiling is more like it.
Right. It's not the end goal, but it seems to be the means we're getting there.
It worked. It's working.
I don't know how many cards we're gonna have, but I'm gonna tell you how we get there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you want to talk about? There's been a ton of stuff that's happened around here. I just didn't know what you might want to talk about.
I think it's really. I think we need to go back and everybody go back and watch all our old videos.
Yeah, of course.
I think we nailed it.
I think
we just ran out of stuff to be right about.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's why we couldn't have any more podcasts. Is because
we don't want to just talk for talk's sake.
You give friggin' the next 6 months of stuff that's going to happen, and what do you got to talk about anymore?
No, it's different. it's a much different tone when people walk in now. It's like there's much more people just like, I just need this stuff out of here. You know, give me what you can give me. And before it's like, you know, this one's worth, you know, this stuff comps at $500. Can we do 450 in trade? You know, or whatever. And now it's just like, here, what can you give me for it?
Yeah.
You know, and that's not the way it was 6 months ago.
No.
Or even, you know, even 3 months ago.
Yeah.
We're buying a lot more stuff. I mean, we're doing probably on a bad day we're doing 6 deals, and on good days 15.
Yeah.
And they just keep it, and it's boxes at a time. It's not 1 or 2 cards. It's boxes at a time.
And it's not boxes of base. It's like good boxes. Like boxes of $500 to $300 stuff.
Right. We're getting entire collections. You know, the one that we just got, the big one that came in, 850 graded cards, and the guy's just like, here, you know, sell this for me.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't even know what his plans were a year ago, but if he hands me that a year ago, instead of being, you know, it's 50% higher at least, maybe twice as much.
At least.
You know, so
at least on the basketball for sure.
Yeah.
The football's held up decent. The baseball's done fine.
The older stuff's fine too. Yeah. But, I mean, it's probably up 30 to 40, 50%, you know, everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, the new there hasn't been anything new really come out. Like Mosaic's been the newest football for like 2 months now.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody's diving back into old stuff or their old stuff, and they have time to sort and regulate. And because it's, you know, nobody's at Walmart, nobody's at Target, nobody's, you know, buying new stuff because they've already had the new stuff and it's old now.
Until today.
Until next week for sure.
Week, yeah.
So we've been buying a ton of stuff and cool stuff we haven't seen before. You know, the wax sales has definitely dropped, but the buying and the actual sales have gone up. Everything we predicted, really. Like, some shops haven't. Their sales have gone down and traffic has gone down, and our traffic's gone up. I mean, not our traffic hasn't gone up, but our transactions have gone up. But it's everything we said. Like, we're gonna do better on the way down than we did on the way up, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say the same thing.
And we're just. I mean, it's not like that was like a plan. We were just lucky to be in that position.
Well, and it's just like what you were talking about. Like on the way down, on the way up, everybody's overvaluing everything. You can't buy anything. I mean, and you can't plan on stuff going up, or I can't. But on the way down, like you said, you go to look at a collection. It's like, you know, what can you give me for it? Like, I'll take whatever you can give me for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, you try to offer them something fair, but at the same time, like, stuff is going down.
You don't want to get stuck. I mean, if you can't pay 80% like you used to, because it was going to be worth 120% of what you comped it at if you hold it for a month. Now you hold it for a month and it's going to be below what you paid for.
Yep.
And you got to pay fees on top of that when you sell it. So,
yep.
I mean, I'm not using the exact numbers, but the guy comped the collection at $1,200. Said he would take 75%, 9. And I said, well, we're a little off on the comps. He said, well, I'll take the fees off. Dropped it to 8. And I offered him $660, and he took it.
Yeah,
because and that's 70% of comps now, and I got to get rid of that stuff immediately. Yeah, like it's gonna be for sale immediately.
So many of those cards, like that Kobe EX2000, the Star Date. Like when you got that card, what was that card worth? $1,500, $2,000.
It was $1,500 raw.
Yeah,
and then it came back at 9.5. And we thought it might be $3,500. And who knows? I haven't even checked the last sale of that card.
But there's lots of cards like that in here. I mean, not a ton, but
not as much as a lot of other people. But
yeah, but that card, like people couldn't get enough of those cards. You know, those things would just fly. And then, I mean, it's just like you said, like nobody cared about basketball before 2019.
And all the people that came in that cared, a lot of them left.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
Even if, and it's like, if basketball's 10% of the market, which it wasn't, I don't think. I don't think it was 10% of the card market before. But even if it was, and it triples, and football and baseball double, it's still only like 20%, whatever, of the people that collect and stuff, and that shows. You know, they've upped the print run a ton. Nobody's buying it. Yeah. And the singles, like a friggin' Emmanuel Quickly Hollow, you can go on eBay and buy for $2. Or 99 cents on the right auction.
Well, LaMelo Ball, remember when nothing came out for basketball? For the LaMelo Ball hoops cards, for the first one sold for $250. And I remember saying that card's gonna be $50 in the week. And it was about that. But I have stacks of them now for $5 sitting out there and nobody's buying them. Yep. I mean, everybody knew that was going to be an overproduced card, but why did it start at $250 if everybody really knew that? You know what I mean? So all those people that were paying $250 are gone.
Yeah.
All of them. Not some of them, all of them.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. At least there's not two left, because then they would bid it up to $250. There may be one left, but there's not two. So I think it's going to be interesting to see when something really cool, something really important, something everybody's been waiting for a long time comes out in Prism Football, and we see what happens with that.
Yeah.
First off the line was around 16 to 1700. I don't think they tell you the regular price, but it sold out between 16 and 1700 first off the line. Blowout has the regular on sale, pre-sale for 1700, and that Mac Jones, the best card in there is going to be a $30 card.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, if Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are 40 to 60, Mac Jones is going to be a $30 card.
Yeah, that's an insane.
So what do you, I mean? I know Blowout's a little high, but even if it's at like 1,500,
even if that box is $1,000, there's 144 cards in that box. I mean, if it's 1,440, that's $10 a card.
Yeah.
I mean, if you buy a Hogby box, you're gonna get some numbered stuff. Does it matter?
No.
I mean, if you don't, you got really 3 guys you can hit. I mean, there's more if you hit numbered rookies. If you hit numbered stuff. But I don't know how many rookies are in that product in the set.
100.
And it's a 300 card set.
400
card
last
set.
Year, yeah.
400 card set. So you get a third. Not even. I mean, you get 144 out of 400 cards. So 40%. So of the set. So if there's 10 guys that you're looking for, 10 rookies, which there's not.
Yeah.
There's 3.
Yeah.
So you might get only one. You might, between Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, and Mac Jones, you might only get one.
Usually the hobby packs only have 1 to 2 rookies. So you're only going to get 20 rookies in a box. 1/5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you probably,
you might not get.
If you get a Jamar Chase, you'll be happy. I guess, and you'll take it, and you'll like it.
Yeah, and that's the odds on a base card.
But it's not. There's not people out there just ripping those boxes. I mean, maybe somewhere, but it's people. It's 30 people buying $60 at a time. Is what it is.
Yeah,
that's keeping that price that high, or even close to that high.
Yeah.
If there was not breakers, that would be a $500 box.
Easily.
Maybe that high.
Yeah.
So. I mean, breaking's fun and breaking's good, but it's not good for wax prices. There's more people that want the wax, which drives the wax up, but there's not as many people that want the singles that want the wax.
Well, it's not good unless you're a breaker, because nobody's coming in off the street and buying that box for $1,400.
Right.
Like, they are, but not very many people. Like you said, like 60 people at $60 a piece, or 30 people at $60.
Prison used to be $70 box, and nobody bought it then.
Yeah, right.
You know, because it didn't have $70 worth of value in it.
Yeah.
And those cards, those rookies are the same price as they are now. Like when Andrew Luck was in 2012 or when OBJ was 2014, like that card was $10.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jamar Chase Prism is going to be a $15 card or whatever. 10 to 15. I mean same as Justin Jefferson was last year.
3 months from now, but 5 years from now, even if he's really, really good, it's probably gonna be like $1.50.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a different thread.
Right. Yeah.
Eventually the wax is always the slowest to change. Like it's always like when in 2020 when this started, they just raised prices. They raised prices on retail with 2021 Select Basketball that came out, in September of 2021. Everybody was up in arms. We've been going for a year and a half. Like wax is always the slowest to adjust to the market because, first of all, people think this is wax. We need to make our spread on this stuff. Like this is the entry point to every card. Every card that you have was opened out of a pack. Every one that anybody cares about was opened out of a pack. So somebody's got to take the hit on most of that stuff to open it. And that keeps the money flowing to get the new products. Like that's what the last year and a half is like. The new products aren't out. The new products. There's no inventing in the new products because the money's not there where it needs to be. Like the money's in our hands and not in their hands.
Yeah.
And that's going to change with Fanatics, and that's going to change with direct to consumer and all this. First off, I mean, nobody feels sorry for Topps or Panini right now. I mean, they're breaking sales records. Yeah. But they've created products that are worth much more than what they're putting out there, and not a lot of companies do that. So the easiest way to up their profit margin is just charge more for the products, and people are still going to buy them.
Yeah.
The problem is when that product drops down, they're going to be a year behind changing that as well.
Yeah.
Like blasters, like Prism blasters are never going to be $20 again, ever.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, they may be 30, but they're 35. I mean, they're still raising that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they hit Walmart and they're $50.
They're not anytime soon. They're not going to be $20 again. I mean, but Donruss blasters are going to be on clearance for $10 a piece. Donruss basketball blasters, Donruss football probably too. I mean, that stuff's all over the place. You can go into any Walmart and pick up.
You can get Series 1 Topps anywhere. Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Not lids.
Not lids.
Well, I went into a lids. They didn't have any cards, so I don't know what good they are.
They sold out all their hobby boxes. They're like Warehouse West. They don't have any hobby.
Yeah, right? That was insane. But I mean, it is interesting because if there's no breakers, prices don't go up as high. People don't rip. Not as much gets ripped. It means they don't print as much. It definitely all led to everything we've experienced in the last year and a half, which, if you kept your ear to the ground, you did pretty well in the last year and a half. But gosh, it's going to be insane. The fallout from this is going to be insane.
It's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I had stuff. So last summer, gosh, I mean, I could put any Prism, I could put any color rookie at least in a $3 box. I mean, the junkiest of the junk in basketball, not as much in football, but definitely in basketball. Even last summer, I could put anybody that played at all at $3 a piece. If it was color, if it was a hollow, or if it was purple. Actually, if it was a hollow, it's probably more. But now, like most of those guys, if I put them in a $1 box, people won't buy them.
Yeah.
Especially basketball. Like, nobody collects basketball. I don't think people realize that. Like,
I think this is this is when I made my waves early. Like,
Yeah.
if you can buy, you know, um, I mean, how many people have Jordan Poole silvers or could have had Jordan Poole silvers? You know, they're $200 now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you buy everyone, somebody's gonna hit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like there's opportunities there.
Yep.
That weren't there a year ago.
Yep.
I mean, you couldn't buy everyone and miss.
Yep.
You know, and now it's like, you know, the new Bowman product that came out, baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Buy every first you can get your hands on for 10 cents or 20 cents, whatever people are selling them for.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing is freaking loaded.
Yeah.
It's loaded.
Is it?
Loaded. Yeah, there's 61st, around 61st, and like 45 or 50 of them are hitters. Really? I mean, I've got a 4-row box of nothing but first chromes.
Yeah.
Over there that's just gonna go away for a while.
Yeah.
You know.
This year's 2022
Bowman. Yeah.
Y'all crushed it on that stuff.
Yeah, it's been fun. But that's like, it's a weird time because blasters are going up and hobby's going down. So once it hits the market, like, this is the first time since probably, I'm trying to remember, like 17 we had Judge, 18 we had Acuna and Otani, and 19. I mean, then we were starting to get into the boom. I bet this is the first year that within the month of release that Bowman's selling for less than cost. Hobby.
Yeah. And
that's simply the market catching up with the value and Topps raising the prices so high.
Yeah.
You know, like Bowman was a $55, $60 box cost back in the day, and he sold it for $75. We're happy.
Back in the day, meaning like 3 years ago.
Well, five.
Yeah.
Now you can buy it for less than cost.
What's cost on Bowman this year?
I think it was around $275.
That's insane. How are you
$265 maybe?
How's anyone supposed to make money on that? A product where 75% of it people just give away
because it was selling last year. Was selling for $400 a box.
They're dumb.
This is Topps not leaving any money on the table.
Fanatics is dumb. Like, you can't do that. But they don't care. Like,
they didn't improve the product.
Not at all.
No, they just quadrupled the price.
And those guys, Enrique and Jake and those guys, they don't give any shits about it.
Yeah, none.
Like, there's 3,000 people just like them waiting in line.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it? Tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Try to go somewhere else. Oh, wait. There is nowhere else to go.
Well, that's what I was telling everybody that comes in and asks about hobby. It's like, you know, I'll have it someday.
Yeah.
But when I have it, you won't want it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'll have it someday, but it'll be back to buying it for 100 and selling it for 120 and hope it doesn't go down before I can get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way shops were, you know, for a long time.
Does this make sense? Over the next 3 years, there's going to be a whole lot of ways to lose money in this hobby.
Yeah, for people that haven't had experience in not a uber rich market, yeah.
If anyone's still looking at this from a 2021 perspective or a 2020 perspective, let's say, from a 2020 perspective, like, there's going to be so many ways to lose money.
It's back to basics. It's back to 2000, like when you bought Patrick Mahomes rookies, you know, you bought the Donruss and you bought the Prisms for $2, $3, $4 or whatever, or $1 a piece for Donruss. But if you wanted to make some real money, you bought the on-card rookie patch autos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you didn't have to pay
for $50.
You didn't have to pay $5,000 for Trevor Lawrence. You paid $50 for, you know, and that's not, to me, that's not a bad thing. To me, that's what I grew up on for 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels normal to me. The last 2 years, the last 6 months feels like a correction to normalcy. Not a drop not a crash. You know what I mean?
That kid came up and bought those Contenders boxes from Dave, and pulled $4,000 to $5,000 Trevor Lawrence auto. Spend $1,000 on those 2 boxes. If you do that 6 times, if you break 10 boxes of that, you're losing money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there's not another $1,000 worth of cards left.
Yeah.
After that, I mean, I said, you know, what odds would you give that in the next 6 months he blows all of that on wax? Or, you know, it's like guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I have contenders. Autos that I just sold for $3 a piece today, and they've been out a month.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get 5 of those in a $500 box. I mean, you can get 5 of those. You know, there's one card auto that I didn't. You know, I'm not selling on card autos for that, but you can get 5 of those in a $500 box. And, you know, that's $500 is low. I mean, it's going to be really weird next season when products come out and nobody wants any of the rookies. You know, if Kenny Pickett may be the most important person in sports cards next year.
No kidding. I mean, what was he pulled in the 2nd round?
No, he was only 1st round quarterback.
Oh, he was 1st round, like
Steelers.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
14th or 18th or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's right.
But he may be the most important because he's going to play. There's nobody. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky may play a game or 2, but
yeah.
So, the most important guy in sports cards is Kenny Pickett.
Mr. Biscuit?
Yeah. The Chicago fans are still happy.
It's the stupidest card I've ever seen. Mr. Biscuit. If y'all don't know, Google or eBay 2017 nickname Mr. Biscuit or Mitch Trubisky. Friggin' Mr. Biscuit.
Yeah.
Who, like...
Classic.
I would have sued them if they'd have put that on a card.
I think Will Ferrell made that card.
But yeah, I mean, that is... Like, who do you go after? I mean...
Well, hopefully it corrects the wax problem.
Hopefully. Might take another year.
Can you imagine $1,700 prison boxes with Kenny Pickett being the best card?
Especially, what if Mr. Biscuit comes out and is really good?
Yeah, that's not good for business. That's not good for anybody.
What if Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, all of them are not good? You know, 10 years ago, it wouldn't have mattered. Because it wasn't insane.
Yeah.
But now it matters.
We lived through Eric Fisher as the number 1 overall pick, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We lived through that. We lived through Le'Veon Bell being the best player for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But Kenny Pickett better play and better play well.
I mean, imagine all the people out there that are still in it, but have gotten burnt to a crisp for the last year.
Yeah.
And then
Kenny Pickett. Chris Olave needs to carry a product.
Yeah. Right?
Or Garrett Wilson Yeah.
I
mean, there's no running backs. I don't think there was a tight end. You know, Kyle Pitts helps a little bit, but, you know, is a number 4 overall pick tight end.
From this year?
From last year.
Yeah.
You know, he helps last year or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's nobody even like that. I mean, in 2012, we had Russell Wilson show up from the 3rd round. In 16, we had Dak Prescott show up from like the 5th round or 4th round, whatever he was. So it was going to be somebody like that, but we already had stars.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't, like, it's never been like that. Like, Geno Smith was at the top of the 2nd round. Like, was there a 2nd round quarterback? I don't think there was, maybe one. You know, Malik Willis, did Ridder go in the 2nd?
No, I don't think so.
I think there might have been one.
Ridder might have gone in the 2nd. Malik Willis, I don't think
went to the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's somebody for him. I don't think he was the 2nd.
Yeah.
But Malik Willis better not play. Or, I mean, Ryan Tannehill, you know, like, he better not play.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes situation. If you're a Titans fan, that's what you're hoping for.
Yeah.
You know? So
that is incredibly accurate. If you compare Alex Smith to Ryan Tannehill, that's incredibly accurate. They might as well be twins.
Yes.
Holy crap, dude. I never thought of that.
It's the same situation.
Their cards are worth the same amount.
Well, yeah, nobody cares. I mean, that's going to be... that's going to be what people are. You can't open a $1,700 Prism box and pull a guy that hasn't played and be happy about it, even if it's Malik Willis.
Micah Parsons could have been defensive player of the year last year.
Yeah,
like he was in the
I have
running.
color prisms for $3 over there if you want some.
Yeah, so good luck.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good a defensive player is. It really doesn't matter. I mean, how good a running back is.
I mean, Aiden Hutchinson and I forgot the first overall, the guy from Georgia. I mean, those cards aren't going to be. They'll be sought after for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and then it'll be like, wait a minute, these are edge rushers. Who is this?
Yeah.
You know, so
the most valuable autos out of like contenders draft or line.
Yeah,
don't have any other autos.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird year in football because that's right now. I would say I'm like 50% football, 50% baseball in sale, and I have a lot more baseball.
Football sold really well.
Basketball is zero.
Basketball zero.
Even though there's a whole shelf of it out there, it's still zero.
Basketball zero.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you mean in wax?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basketball zero.
Yeah.
Singles do okay.
If you have the right ones, yeah.
At a show, singles do okay, but not good. They don't do good.
Yeah.
They do okay.
It's the same thing out there. Like,
this is a show. This is an everyday baseball or sports card show.
LaMelo or Prism Megas are $150, and you pull a LaMelo, it's worth $25. Like why would anybody buy that? You know?
Yeah. The best card in there. You pull the best card in there that's not a parallel, or a hit,
Right.
And it's $25 on a $125 box.
This father and son came in, and the son had been telling his dad to get into the market, and he just put it off for a long time, and now he's in. And they said, "Do you have any Prism basketball?" I said, "Yes." And so they came in, and I showed them the boxes. I showed them the Prism basketball, the Mega Box, the Blaster. I said, "I have some cellos," but I said, "Why would you buy this Mega Box? Here's an Anthony Edwards Purple Wave that comes out of those, and you can buy it for the same price as the box. Like if you got this out of a box, you'd be ecstatic."
Yeah.
And here, take it. You can buy it for the same price.
This is the best card you can hope to pull if you open 3 of those.
Yeah. So here, take it. You know, it's like, and he's just like taking back a little bit and thinking about it, and just wanted to get the lay of the land, I guess, and didn't buy anything.
Good luck selling that.
Yeah, it's like just buy what you want, man. Like the prices on singles are so cheap compared to the wax right now.
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody's buying wax. It's for entertainment purposes only. Like, you pay $50 to get in a break and get your 8 cards that come in the mail. Yeah. I mean, it's entertainment, sure.
Yeah. I just do it so I can have something to do at night.
Yeah. Sure.
I can buy a whole
ripping cases.
I can buy a 4-row box of Prism cheaper than I can buy a Mega Box.
Yes.
No joke.
Yeah.
I can buy a 4-row box that's not completely picked clean. That's still got some decent rookies in there and some color and stuff for cheaper than I can buy.
You can buy a 4-row box of all color out there.
Yeah.
For the price of for like a third of the price of a hobby box.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. For 3 blasters or two megas or whatever it is. Yeah, $300, $400, $500 or whatever.
People learn pretty quick. So
yeah. But you gotta be willing to. You gotta enjoy a 4-row box of Prism singles, I guess. I mean, not everybody does.
Who is one of the modern baseball players you think today will have long-term collectability? And it's answered Juan Soto.
Yeah. I
just want this on the record. If Juan Soto goes to the Blue Jays, I will be a Canadian citizen.
You won't.
You lie. You think I'm lying?
Don't think you're lying. I just think you're not going to do that. But
I'm not going to do it because Juan Soto's not going to Blue Jays.
Well, that's true too. But I don't blame you for dreaming. Like, that would be insane. And I wouldn't blame you if you...
so much fun.
I wouldn't blame you if you went, That would be That would be worth doing.
Maybe it would just be a visa, so I just spend baseball season in Canada.
Well, maybe you just get your summer home.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Right. My regular home's back there.
You charter a flight.
Yeah, right. Only if I could flap my wings up fast. I got too much prism and optic wax back here to afford anything. It's a problem.
That's how you pay for the flight.
Yeah.
It's like hand them some mega boxes.
I tried. It didn't work that way.
Here's a case of blasters.
Yeah. It doesn't work that way.
To Toronto. Yeah. Juan Soto. Like that's the answer. Wander Franco's a pretty good answer, but Juan Soto. Never seen it. I mean, there's no one else that hits like Juan Soto.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think Mike Trout has the the ability to pinpoint pitches the way Juan Soto does. You know what the numbers say or anything like that.
Yeah. I bet it's frustrating for him. I mean, he's hitting 250, but he's got a 380 on base. Like, there's a lot of games where he gets like 2 pitches.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting himself out a lot. Same with Vlad. Same with Junior.
Yeah.
I mean,
like chasing.
Yes, they're chasing non-strikes because that's all they get.
Yeah.
And they don't want to hit 250 with a 400 on base. That's not what they want to do. They want to hit 300 with a 450 on base, which is
and a 600 slugging.
Yeah. And now they can't have any power because they're swinging outside. I mean, Soto did that last year and ended up hitting 29 homers, but man, I watched a lot of their at-bats. It's a lot of 2-1 counts or 2-0 counts that they don't even get a strike on 2-0 or 3-0.
Yeah.
You know, like about Junior last night, Guerrero.
Yeah.
It was 3-0. I mean, if you want to YouTube that and see what the entire season, literally the guy is throwing the ball, letting go of the ball, and Vlad almost steps out of the box and turns and throws his bat on a 3-0 count because he knows he's not even getting a strike 3-0.
Yeah.
He turned around before the ball even crossed the plate and was bending over to take his shin guard off.
Yeah.
That's knowing what's going to come before it comes, but he's doing that in frustration because nobody's even pitching.
Yeah, you think people think he's mad because he's doing poorly. That's not the case. He's mad because no one's giving him an opportunity to do well.
Yeah. I mean,
he has no choice but to do poorly.
It's not and it's working for the people playing the Blue Jays because the entire offense is like somebody's got to hit behind him. Somebody's got to start hitting behind him for him to get pitches. If that person starts hitting behind him and he starts getting pitches, then the whole lineup takes off.
Mm-hmm.
But they got to find somebody behind him that's going to hit. I mean,
are they not? Is Teoscar not hitting? Springer's not hitting?
Springer bats leadoff.
Teoscar's not hitting at all.
Bichette's not even hitting. He's, so he's not on base.
Yeah.
So they can't, if Bichette's on base, they have to kind of pitch to Guerrero because then there's 2 guys on base. So all it takes is like one guy to just start popping off. I mean, it kind of shows in like the Giants lineup. Jock Peterson's the hottest guy on the planet right now. And they're, that team does not deserve to be over 500.
No.
So
they didn't last year either, though. Really?
Yeah, yeah. I'll still hold my breath for Gabe Kapler being this Moneyball type manager, dude. But it's a lot of that going on. Like it's almost been too finite. I mean, I have a baseball game on here as much as it's humanly possible. Like during I watch a lot of baseball that I normally don't watch. And I mean, it was 13-5 in the Reds-Cubs game. Neither one of those teams are going to the playoffs. The Reds might have the worst record in the history of baseball. And it's 13-5 in like the 6th inning. And the tension between the pitcher and the hitter was like it was game 6 of the World Series. Like it wasn't 110% like game 7, but it was 95%. And in the past, you had guys with like 6 ERAs or like 5 ERAs that were your mop up guys, that were your sixth, seventh. When there was a game like that, you threw him in there, you got 3 innings out of him. You knew his ERA was 5, but he was throwing the ball down the middle and just letting people get themselves out. It doesn't happen that way anymore. Like that guy that's pitching in the fifth wants that 3-year, $30 million contract or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's all about individual. It's not about let's do what's best for the team and get these 3 innings and my ERA may go up, but I save the bullpen for the next game. It's not. There's none of that anymore. Every guy that pitches in the sixth wants to be a closer because they can throw 100 too.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard baseball to watch because every batter gets 5 pitches.
Let me ask you this. So, batting average is down across the board. Home runs are down across the board. Everybody's saying it's because of the baseball, whether it is or not, regardless. Do you think it's strategic that you don't throw to Guerrero, you don't throw to Soto, you don't throw to Ohtani? Good luck with Trout, but you don't throw to those guys because everyone else on the team there's so much less of a chance of them hitting the ball. Or like hitting the ball in play.
Like it is. It's unfathomable to me how people can hit a baseball nowadays. Like when you say it blows my mind just as much. I've been watching baseball for 40 years. It blows my mind as much now as somebody hitting 300 as it does when you say there's a billion stars in the galaxy. Like both of them are unfathomable to me because when I see a guy with the same arm slot with the same pitch and the ball can go 3 different ways, how in the hell are you supposed to hit that? And everybody's doing that now.
Yeah.
Not like Greg Maddux used to do that and was the best pitcher we've ever seen. Now everybody does that. Everybody has 2 pitches and some people have 3.
Really good pitches.
Yeah,
locked in.
Like when I saw a guy last night strike out Mike Trout, it had 12 inches of break the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And it came back and went over the plate as a strike, and Mike Trout just stood there and looked at it.
Of arm side run?
Yes, offside. Yeah, because he threw a 4-seamer that cut the opposite direction. Like it was.
Yeah.
It went out. It was 0-2.
Yeah.
And Mike Trout was like, I'm not getting a strike right here.
Yeah.
And it came back, and it was a strike, and Mike Trout just watched it and looked down and walked off the field. And that's the best hitter in the game.
Yeah.
But to face, you'd have to face like Max Scherzer, and that happened. And then your 2 starter was okay. And then you got in the bullpen and really had some fun later. But every guy now has that stuff.
Google Ben Joyce.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that.
Google Ben Joyce. I saw an app or a series, an inning with Ben Joyce. He's a pitcher for Tennessee. And every pitch he threw was over 100, and he hit 105 like 2 or 3 times. It was insane.
That's not going to get better.
And I think he was a starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Hunter Green threw 40 pitches over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to get better. They're going to have to do something dramatic like they did in '68 when they lowered the mound.
Yeah.
Like they're going to have to move. I think they moved the mound back.
Yeah.
I mean, even 6 inches would give.
At least 6 inches. Like you're not taking something away. You're adjusting the game to 120 years, 150 years of advancement.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same way with football, basketball. Like, people are doing things now that they've never done before because people that came before them did things. They've continued to work and build and learn new things, and now we've got
plus
all kinds of crazy stuff.
The travel teams, like kids pick a sport and stick with it at the age of like 12 now.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, like that kid, that high school pitcher that gets drafted at 18 and makes his first appearance at 21 has been pitching for 10 years.
Yeah.
And before it was in high school that she started or whatever.
Did you see the video of the LSU coach whenever the pitcher hit the home run?
Mm-mm.
So maybe you've seen it, don't remember, but the pitcher hit a home run, and he in the interview he said, "Coach asked me, or the interviewer asked him like, what was your strategy?" He's like, "Let it go. Like I want like, what do I got to lose?" He's like, "I'm gonna try to jack it." And he goes, "Yeah, the coach came up to me and he asked me, did you hit in high school?" He said, "Yeah, I hit bombs, coach."
Oh, I
And
remember this.
yeah, after the thing, he's like, "I never hit in high school. I was a pitcher. I never hit." Like, can you imagine that? Like, he was a pitcher. He was a pitcher
Yeah.
in high school. Never even hit in high school.
Yeah.
A high school pitcher. You never was a thing.
No. Your pitcher was your best player and always hit.
Yeah, always
he would
hit.
pitch and bat fourth.
And play shortstop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, or whatever.
Now it's now those guys
dedicated high school pitchers.
Well, they want to have Tommy John surgery in high school or college so they get it over with. Because it's not normal. Like it's not like that movement that you're doing is not normal. Like you're gonna have arm issues.
Yeah.
So you get it over with then, and then you get trapped, and then you don't have to do it again. You know, like everyone has it. Like it's not.
Yeah.
The game's got to be adjusted because, we're gonna lose the new fans.
Yeah.
Like if I'm supposed to be the old crotchety man that can just sit down and watch a baseball game that's loved it for 40 years. Like I'm probably still below the average baseball fan's age.
Yeah.
I bet it's in the 50s.
Yeah.
So, like they're gonna lose. They've already lost to football. Like,
yeah,
for money wise, there's more money coming into football. There's more eyeballs on football. They got close to doing the NBA until the NBA decided they didn't want it anymore. But it's hard to watch a game when the 8-hitter is 3-2 every time.
Yeah,
and he's either going to walk or strike out.
And the most
50% of the time.
And the most exciting players don't get a chance to play. Don't get a chance. The most exciting hitters in the game don't get a chance to hit.
The 14 and 15 Kansas City Royals were old school baseball. I saw a stat the other day. The 14 Royals were last in the American League in home runs and made it to the World Series.
First in stolen bases.
Yeah, and probably first extra base taken and yeah. So you can win that way still.
Yeah.
But nobody's built for that anymore.
No.
It really irks me. I keep saying this. I watch a lot of baseball, but it irks me.
He does watch a lot of baseball.
When it's 1-2, and a guy is swinging out of his shoes on a slider that's outside.
Yeah.
Like, choke up and get a base hit.
Yep.
And it's 0-2, and there's still the entire one side of the field that doesn't have a defender on it.
Juan Soto's the only person that does that.
Chokes up, yeah.
Him and
Joey Votto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, guys literally go up there that are hitting terribly and get in an 0-2.
You're hitting 212 with 2 home. Like, they're still shifting on Marcus Semien, and he doesn't have a home run this year.
Yeah.
Like, hit one to right field.
Like you said, swinging their shoes off.
Joey Gallo hits 220.
Yeah.
And doesn't ever hit the ball to left. Ever. Like, hit 260 with 30 home runs instead of 220 with 35 home runs.
Banning the shift is not enough.
No.
That doesn't help people if they can't barrel the ball. Like, you have to be able to barrel the ball for it to matter.
Yeah. We didn't think we'd have anything to talk about.
I know, right? This is why we haven't had a podcast in 3 months. Do you think I overpaid? What?
Oh, yeah.
What did he do? Did he just hit one?
Yeah.
Took Ohtani deep. Woo!
I watched the first at bat before I left, or before we signed on. That was fun. Ohtani versus Guerrero was fun.
That was cool. Do you think Keelan overpaid for a 2021 Prism draft? Tiger skin auto of Benny Montgomery for $23.50. What do you think?
I like Benny Montgomery.
Yeah.
Prism draft's a little. I'm trying to think of somebody. 24 $23.50 for Benny Montgomery's cheap anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get. Would you rather have a second year Chrome Auto for $23 or that Tiger Skin? Probably the Tiger Skin. Yeah. It's 2021 instead of 2022.
Yeah.
So, like I just bought a Benny Montgomery Chrome Auto today for $20.
Yeah.
So,
it'd be hard to get a Leaf Auto of him for $20. Probably.
Yeah.
So, probably solid.
That's not a bad deal.
Chris killed Dallas. I saw that. Chris got a red background Ty Cobb at Dallas.
That. Yeah. He came in and showed it to me. He didn't let me hold it very long, though.
I bet not. He's pretty proud of that.
That's a cool card.
He had a yellow background Joe Namath for like a day.
Yeah.
Or Joe DiMaggio for like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty insane. Chris does well. Nate, I'm going to hit you up on the Card Collex Discord. I don't ever use the Card Collex Discord anymore. But you can. I will check it out.
You'll get a notice.
And I think we are going to be in Chicago. Connor asked if we were going to be in Chicago. You might set up in Chicago.
I might set up, yeah.
Come buy some wax.
I won't have any. I can't compete with those guys. Yeah, I think we'll be up there. I think it's just maybe more of a vacation type.
Did you get some tables?
Yeah. Well, we put in the form. We haven't heard officially yes or no, but we put in the form. So she said if we got in pretty quick, we could get a table or two.
Cool.
So it'll be more of a vacation than a business trip, but we'll hang out there and, we won't be here, which is...
Is it a Thursday through a Sunday?
Thursday through Saturday.
Oh, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'll work out all right.
Yeah.
I just want to go for Saturday.
Yeah.
I like Chicago. I don't like traveling in Chicago. I don't like staying in Chicago. It'd be one thing if I was a big spender like this guy and I could stay across the street. But I gotta stay like
do that.
I gotta stay like 10 miles
if I was
away.
With my wife, I would stay in Aurora.
That's where I gotta stay.
Yeah, that's
where I gotta stay. You're coming into the show and
it's not a vacation if it takes you 45 minutes to get to the hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's work. Yeah. I mean, that's part of it, but I'd rather just come up on Saturday. I might even take the train, honestly. I mean, it'll limit what I can buy, and not really. I'll just send it over to you.
Home.
No, you won't. No, you won't have an empty truck. I know you too well.
Yeah, we'll probably end up taking more home than we left it.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think about that. I can take the train up and just send everything home with Mike. Yeah. That's awesome. No, you can send me a message on Discord, Connor. Oh, I'm on there. Oh, I got your message. And yes, we are going to Chicago. I think. I do want to go one day. Probably Saturday. I mean, I'm sure Saturday.
Yeah.
Go around and pick up the scraps. See how it's going.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. It'll be fun. When I went to the National, I was just kind of like last year, I was just overwhelmed. I mean, there's no way you could see everything in a couple days. I don't even know if you're there all week to see everything.
No.
So, but I think this show, how many tables are at this show?
400-ish.
Yeah.
Size of Dallas, probably.
Yeah. It's all in the main room, though.
Yeah, there's only one. Yeah.
It's the same venue,
usually
right?
It's in the same venue, but I think these are upstairs.
Oh,
this is a little smaller room.
Yeah.
It's probably half the size of the National, like the big National room. And there's no, that side room with the ceilings were lower.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like that. And then like the Breakers Pavilion's not there.
That'll be better.
It's like half of that size.
Will there still be people talking annoyingly really loud?
It's Chicago. There's more of them there.
That's where the best breakers come from.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's Chicago.
Yeah.
There'll be loud, annoying people. It's part of the deal.
Deep dish.
Yeah.
I was just waiting on deep dish. Royals win. Royals win.
Dallas had 700 tables. Is that right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they have the room. So there's the main room is insane. So the two wings on the main room, off of the main room, probably only had like 40 tables, 40, 50 tables. And then there's the secondary room, which is where I was set up. I bet there was 150 tables in that room. About it. No, not quite that many. I bet there's 100 tables in that room. I bet there's 150 and at least 500 in the main room. At least. That room is huge.
Really?
It's really big.
It's a hotel?
Yeah.
Or a convention center?
But it's
both.
I bet it's not the size of a football field, but I bet it's the size of I bet it's like as wide as a football field and probably 2/3 as long. That room. Was it at the hotel? Is that what you asked?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Marriott in Allen. Mm-hmm. The Delta Marriott in Allen. I mean, it wasn't as big as the National by any means, but
yeah.
I mean, you could still see the walls when you're,
Yeah.
Like if you're in the middle of it, you could still see the walls, but
yeah.
It was big. Maybe I'm overestimating how big it was, but man, it was big. It just seemed big. Oh, Damon. That's Damon.
That's picture, dude.
Yeah, Mike said, I've never looked that good in a picture.
I said you never looked so happy.
So happy.
That's the happiest you've been.
I was happy.
I was happy. It was a good time.
Yeah. Met a new friend.
There you go.
What's wrong with that? I don't
know why you took it negatively.
Don't be making fun of me, Mike.
I complimented your smile.
You did not. You were mocking me.
I said that's the happiest you've ever looked.
Yeah, I know mocking.
No, obviously no.
I do. Dallas had over 700 tables. That was crazy. Damon was over there when that Trevor Lawrence NT RPA got pulled. Yeah, it was insane. I didn't ever see it. The guy was shaking. He's like, get away from me. Like, wait till I get in a holder. It was crazy. John Powell's been buying a bunch of vintage hockey and baseball from a guy that's 91 who was ready to sell, and he called me first. That's all you can hope for.
There you go. Yeah, save it from probate court, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Save it from the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always a tough one. Especially when you find somebody that really doesn't want to leave it to their kids.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what do you do?
Or the kids don't want it.
Or the kids don't want it.
Yeah.
Or the kids only want the money.
Yeah.
They don't care at all about it.
Right.
So, that's Nick. Say hi, Nick.
Talon has left the building.
Mike rents this space out as a packaging area whenever the shop's not open.
Just levels of business going on that I'm not even aware of.
Oh, you'll have fun, John. He's gonna set up his first show.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. That's the right attitude. Like, just have fun with it. It's not gonna,
Yeah. I mean, it's a hobby first, right?
Yeah.
For most people. So
one of the Facebook groups I'm in, I don't know. They posted some guy had made some comment about low grade vintage baseball cards and how stupid it was that people were like buying and collecting them and stuff like that. Like, you don't get it, dude. Like, you don't get it. Like, that is vintage baseball or vintage sports card collecting. Is that collect what you like, or what you want. And a lot of those guys, I don't know. I'd say most of them. They don't care. They don't care what it's worth. They don't care what it looks like. It's what they want.
I don't care what some of that old stuff that I have. I don't care what it's worth.
It's not eating anything.
There's an 1885 baseball card over there.
Those are cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a 1926 Jimmy Fox over there. Like, I don't care what that's.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not worth a lot, so I can afford it.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about selling it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. I need to go up to the gas station and get a chicken hot dog.
Okay. I think that's our new sign off.
That's the way it goes.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh,
Nate needs some chicken.
I got a future Hall of Famer auto, rookie auto. Just show it off. Zach Greinke.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah. Was there some other stuff you want to talk about?
No, we'll try to be more regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We needed a break though, I think. That's the best part about like not being a serious YouTube channel is you just gotta take a break whenever you feel like it.
Well, whenever we are a serious one, I think we have Day-Day sports cards, I think.
That's right.
It gave us the juice.
That's right.
Gave us the energy.
The motivation. Hey, some guy watches us.
Yeah.
Some guy we don't know watches
some
our
guy from out of state. So we're gonna change the channel name to Day-Day Sports Cards.
There we go.
West, South, North, whatever. North.
There we go. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone. I gotta go watch this replay of Vladdy hitting a home run.
Same.
Deal.
All right. Cool.
Peace out.
See ya.